Hello, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Hopefully, these network problems are going to start dying down. I'm keeping an eye on it, but we are losing frames because of network traffic. So there might be a sacrifice that's about to happen here. Let's see here. Yep, I think we might have to pull a trigger here. While I make that final decision here, let's check in with kitties. We do have Sky and Mason visible. Sherbet is also present, but that might be Sammy too. Let's see who is at the second tree. And I do see Drew and Keats have joined us. I apologize if the stream is buffering a lot. Hey there, Okaneki. Just checking a couple of things here to see if anything cleans up, but it looks like it's not. I'm going to cull a stream here. These buttons. Yeah. Put an end to that one. Technical difficulties. Hopefully we won't have to haul back any harder. Let's find out. Maybe. You have joined me for Network Bar Graph Simulator. Doing good, Drew. Doing good. I am hoping that this percentage continues to fall. Okay, it looks like we're stabilizing. So for whatever reason, it looks like 3 streams at once was just too much today. For those just joining us and who have been waiting to find out, today is going to be more work on our game development project. And I feel like doing some sprite art, and we need some more sprite art for the game. So we'll be doing some of that today. I had to decide if I want to do it in Sprite or in Krita. Sprite has some tools specifically for it and has some tools of convenience. I may do that because I'm not doing high fidelity sprite art, you know? At least in terms of sprite art, I can be an artist. Low res sprite art. So let's see. Let's get some of this stuff converted over, and I'll show you. Okay. So if you're not aware, the graphics resolution, the actual sprite resolution that we've been doing in the game is 16 by 16. So itty bitty. We're going to adjust this so that it's bigger. But we need to extract a palette. So get some stuff here. Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? Did I put that there? No, I didn't put that there. Let's close that before we cause a problem, huh? Do. Check something here. Okay. This is also where I do all of my thumbnail work. Because I don't want to have to keep duplicating my palette. That would be annoying. I kind of have to do that in Krita. Like a layer or similar kind of stuff. But I could just make a document with that. Let's do that. Let's get that going. Had this open and now I don't. Where's my repos? Okay, so if we open this one up, so this is our base little sprite. Idle, walking, jumping, shooting. The last two I currently am not going to use. But, you know, maybe in the future. Right now it's just idle and walking. So for pretty much everything that moves, the first row of 6 is idle. The second row of 6 is movement. I'll try to keep the animations accordingly. Are you going to sit with me or not, Ember? Like, I don't know. Not paying enough attention to me right now. She has crawled up to lay on my shoulder. So I gotta devote one hand to holding her and one to scratching her head. It's one of those moments where sadly my microphone is really good at filtering cat sounds. Okay, so I thought I had... Here we go, here's the palette. But that's not the whole palette. It's the blob. There we go, there's another part of the palette. So what I need to do is I'm going to make a new document here, my palette, so I can open that up and grab the colors. Whether it's as a fixed image that I plonk onto the document or, you know, another layer or something like that, I need to be able to grab these. So... So what I'm doing is I'm saving off the colors that I'm using for some of these so that I can stay consistent. So for the blobs in the catbot, there's some... Our connection is terrible today. Okay, we should be going again. Double check. Okay, I think we're active again. Our network is flaking a little bit. We're gonna try this one more time here. Quick little test. We'll see if it goes haywire. How's everyone doing today? Having a good time? Seem to be okay now. Okay. So keep it at a full fidelity. Reopen that. Take the palette. Okay. Got you. We're going to leave the changes to you. Then we're going to go into this folder. Grab the palette. We're going to move the palette elsewhere. Can I tell a joke? Sadly, Sadly, not off the cuff. I'm not terribly funny. Hey there, Conduct. And let's see. Small. Okay, small. I could Google a joke. Yes, I could. I don't know why small. So now we open the palette. Well, okay then. Hey there, Ant. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're just getting started. We're doing some sprite art today. We're trying to come up. I think I have the lines set up for this already, don't I? No, I don't. I don't have it set as a project. As create a document. A thermos is insulated, so yes. I wonder what the us on the end of it is. That just like a branding thing? Because I get the therm part, you know, the heat part. Cap behind my head again. Sammy looking out the window or Ember? All right. Yeah, we gotta mess with some settings real quick here. I'm trying to remember where these particular settings are. The menus aren't necessarily intuitive with that sometimes. Let's just try here. Nope, nope, nope. These are overall app settings. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it to where... Oh, here we go. There we go. Since everything's 16 by 16 pixels, it is useful to have it divided in this fashion. Now I could... Did it 32? I don't think that works. Anyhow, let's get rolling here. Okay, we have 3 or 4 colors for the Nyanite. It has the outline color, the 3 grays, and 1 of the blues. All right, thanks for joining us, Antium. it's a relatively peaceful channel, it's difficult. You know, good on them for trying. Like, you have a cold, you're drinking water, and you have snakes. Trying to parse. Okay, let's see here. Get white out. We have white option. We have not black. This is actually like a really dark purple, so we don't run into the problem of having an outline color that conflicts with blacks. It's a big chunky one. Just get it to the size. 96 by 96 at the moment. Oh, that's why. Oops. There we go. Hey there, all for one. Oh, snacks. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh yeah, this is one of the reasons I was considering switching over to A-Sprite. All right, we're doing it. We tried. We tried to use Krita for this. So we shall now jump through some hoops. Let's actually use... There we go. How many pets do I have? I have 5 cats. Currently visible. Let me zoom in and see. The one that's on camera right now is Ember. But if we switch out, let's see how many we can spot. We have Sky taking up most of camera 1. We have Sherbet passing under the one of the trees, Sammy passing by him. They're both a bit visible in the play area. Sammy is investigating a box. Hey there, Patricia. We're having a quick cat check while we while I start the administrative work of working on the sprites. Right. How about... Let's keep it on that tree there. We usually don't get to see... Can I pet the cat? I can pet the cats, but I don't do so because it would put me on camera, and I don't like to be on camera. It's also nap time for them most of the time, so where they can most be pet. I don't want to wake them up. And reveals happen accidentally. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take that one or that one. I have been told that the camera array reminds people of that. Okay, now we need to get the palette in there. So let's get the blob loaded up into Sprite as well. Do I like bananas? They're okay. Bananas are inoffensive. Okay, so we have feel free. So we have dark outline, we have white as a accent. Let's move that over here. Have our 3 grays. The toothbrush heads that I use are of... They're the variable type. You know, they got a little bit of everything. Well, I mean, a donation in general would be appreciated. If you would like to. Okay, how are we gonna do? So there's a pair of colors for each one of the tones here. There's a pair for the eyes, there's a pair for the body. We have our whites and blacks. Can I take the palette from here to here, though? Doesn't look like I can. Get the hex in here. Nab hex codes and bring it over that way. Hey there, cats. Welcome. More than 1,350, but... You know. Hello, Joshua. I am making a game, Patricia. I am making a game. Let me show you here. It is not, Joshua. It is not. So last time we were testing, making sure that these little that when we did a spread here, that it would actually function right. All right, get some rest, cats. Okay, so have that. Let's close that for now. One more. This will give us our light gray tone. Okay. This is our base palette at the moment. Oh man, we got 3 cats. 3 cats right now. A triple is rare. It looks like Ember, Sammy, and Sherbet. Top to bottom. Sometimes they can see critters out that window, so. Well, hey there, Annabelle. Or do you prefer Annabella? Welcome to the broadcast. So the blob is our placeholder creature right now. I'm going to use it for something else, but we do need to come up with some more. So we've got a palette here. We're gonna rearrange this so it's more. Actually, I don't think I can rearrange it cleanly. No, that should be fine. So we're gonna take one of these. We're gonna move it over to here. So. Make another couple transparent blocks. We're just going to space things out a bit. Hey there, Blue Storm. We're doing some sprite work for our game today. Am I now? Oh, sorry. Are you now? Okay, so we've got our base palette in there. Let's save that. We're going to export to save the palette. We're going to take the palette and we're going to save it as a preset. There we go. Excellent. They are. They see something out the window, so they're having a good time. Haven't decided. Tomorrow will be a game, but I haven't picked one yet. Hey there, Naruto. Welcome. All right, we have our palette. This is good. Now we can take this and we can load a palette. We can load that one. Okay, we're going to be able to share this amongst them by just loading the palette again. Good. So now we go in and we're going to go back into our weapons list and we're going to take the mouse. We're going to load a palette. Thanks, Blue Storm. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am streaming tomorrow, Annabella. It's not going to be a coding stream. It will be something else. I just haven't decided what game I will play that day. But today and Sunday are definitely more of this. Size. Way back in the day, Small, we played Noida. Way back in the day. All right. 96 by 16. Hey there, Jordan. Welcome. Let's see. Great. Everything is 16 by 16 so that we have very clean control. Okay. The cats are live. We can see 3 of them on that camera. Let's see if we can spot the other 2. Yeah. This guy is napping across from the keyboard. Mason is deciding where he wants to lay down and dodging the camera right now. Hey there, Sniper. Welcome. We've got 8 cams. I'm actually in the process of testing a new type of camera that should give me a little more options as far as, well, it'll be different how I have to place them, but stability-wise, they should be a lot better. Okay, so this was one of the original Nyanite weapons back when these were part of a Noida mod. This was the homing mouse weapon that nobody used. Everybody generally used the healing weapon or the laser weapon that was instant strike. We're making a Vampire Survivor style game. We're currently working on some sprites to use for, like, weapons, and maybe we'll get into some actual, like, mob sprites I intend to use, kind of things. Yep. For those that didn't see... Oh, I can probably close Resolve now. Okay. That'll free some resources. I haven't decided on anything like distribution yet, Annabelle. If there was going to be a cost for it, I don't think it's going to be very high. We're probably, hypothetically, if there was going to be a cost for it, it'd probably be one of those, like, $1 to $5 kind of jobbies. Depends on how far we get. If it doesn't go on to, like, a distribution platform or something like that, it might end up just being a free thing kind of stuff. Yeah, so those that saw last time, what we were working on is getting this process to work the way they spray out in an arc. We had a couple of glitches with them, but they're working now. Actual game logic is very thin on the ground at the moment. Effectively, if the blobs touch you, the number goes down. That's just to test the collision logic. If a bullet touches a blob, the bullet goes away and the blob goes away. All right, Blue Storm, thanks for swinging through either way. today we're getting some more of these in so I can start doing things like not have the purple bubbles, so that we can have more creatures appearing, because I do want to start getting the sequence of a level. If you're familiar with games like Vampire Survivors, over a course of time there will be different creatures will show up in different numbers, that kind of thing. So I want to set up enough different types that I can do the scripting. Now, I could just use placeholders for that, but I feel like it's a good opportunity to make some more things. So like I said, this was one of the old Noida game mod ones. So what we've got to do is come up with this, but slightly bigger. So we're going to copy it again to over here. We're just eyeballing this at the moment. Oh, it looks like they all bailed. Wow. Let's find out where they went. The critters might have left. Oh yeah, they scattered to the winds there. They're not snacking. I am Newt, Annabella. N-E-W-T, Newt. The mechanist part of the name is a title. Okay. Alright, so... Rush. I think we still want to keep... tail in there. Hey there, Vanessa. An anime you can finish in one night. You're pretty much looking at like, do you mean like a binge watch all day kind of thing, or do you mean like in a sitting? Did you? It's not showing up in the feeds, Jorn. Are you sure it went through fully? Thanks, Ocelot. Suppose I should show what I'm doing. In one sitting, I would recommend like single video kind of ones, you know? Which ones? I mean, if you haven't watched all the Studio Ghibli stuff, then, you know, there's some good Studio Ghibli stuff. Else. Fair, fair. should you sub, I mean, I would appreciate it if you sub, but, you know, do what you like. Well, I appreciate the sentiment that you think I sound young. In the tradition of this channel, most IRL questions will not be answered, will not get the answer that you might want, but this body is about 3 to 4 years old at this point. It has held up pretty well, I think. Put the body maybe like that. I want to have odd number would be okay. There's only so much troubleshooting I can do, but let me do a quick eyeball here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it, whatever the operation is, it doesn't look like it's coming through there, Jordan. Cole, it isn't. I do like me some AdMech, though. Thanks for joining us, Annabelle. I was kind of waiting for the Batman there, Pack God. I was kind of waiting for the Batman. Since we've got 16 by 16, that makes it so that things will be... Ah, okay. I get it. It'd be tricky to keep up with the flow of chat now and again. Let's do it a little off-center so we can still have it come to a point. We're looking at 7 that way and 8 that way. That's potentially okay. Halfway. Be able to round the ears out a little more with this. I'd really prefer that it be symmetrical. Am I now, Vanessa? I still got a ways to go. Such ways to go. But we're definitely making progress. Okay, we need to contract it a little bit more. Because we want to be able to do the outline on it. Wow. And okay, there we go. Some people do be like that, Jordan. And yes, Annabelle, this is one of my cats. Yeah, it's unclear, Jordan. Let me look at this. I don't know if there's some sort of like delay period or something like that for you, Jorn. Let me scroll back up and see if I missed anything. Hey there, Chaos. Welcome. You can move forward a little bit. That. And we can use this isn't conveying what I wanted to convey, though. Well, the Naruto in chat is a nice person. I like the Naruto anime out through about the Zabuza arc. Like, I feel like the peak of Naruto is the battle on the bridge with him. After that, it kind of declines. I like Naruto up to that point, in that up to that point they define a world, they define the rules of that world, and it seems consistent. And after that, they start to wildly change things without justification. I try to stream at least 5 days a week, Jorn. So the ears. About I'll be streaming about 4 p.m. US Central tomorrow. I normally try to get the YouTube streams scheduled in advance so you can see them, but I haven't decided on what I'm streaming tomorrow, and I didn't want to make a placeholder. Well, if it doesn't work, Jordan, then I still appreciate the sentiment, you know? But, you know, never feel compelled to donate. So what we're doing, Chaos, is we're making a sprite. We're trying to make a mouse, like a very cartoonish mouse. But so far it's failing. We are making that sprite for this game. For the shell, this thing that is the shell of a game at the moment. So these purple bubbles are placeholders. One of the things that could replace them is this little mouse thing that I'm making. I don't know that this says mouse. It almost says like moth or bat to me. So I think we might have to scale back on the ears because of the size we're working with. It's too airplaney. I think that's about right. So we can probably widen it, given this, because we're going to do this. Ah, okay. So we're going to outline it, so we need to keep it within... We need to keep it out of... It needs to be 2 squares away from the edge without outline. We could widen it. Hey there, Echo. Sometimes, Jordan, when that kind of thing happens, like in a general transaction sense, it sort of like goes into a limbo until the transaction is actually like canceled or they validate it. It could be a number of things. It depends on why, you know, how it was stopped. In any event, Jordan, I do appreciate the attempt. I appreciate what you were trying to do, even if it doesn't happen. Yeah, I want to get it away from the fish look. So all of the default weaponry that we're going to be making for this are themed. So a little mouse toy, a ball of yarn, a red laser. Those will be the initial things, and then we'll expand on it from there. But these were the things that existed in the Noida mod, so these are the things that I want to carry forward. Dario, I don't really have a lot of reason to mod them. That I don't own them anymore. They have long since been, traded out. Let's... that'll be the idea, Jorn. That'll be the idea. I mean, there are going to be various periods of it. I figured this would get his attention. Switch cameras a moment here. So, there is a softer piece of cardboard in there. And Sky likes to chew on cardboard. He doesn't like eat it. What he does is he rips off mouthfuls of it at a time. So if there's cardboard around, especially if he's like annoyed or something like that, he will just start ripping pieces off of it. So you can't hear it, but there's periodically kind of a thump sound when the piece of cardboard he's tearing bits off of bops into the bottom of the other box. Okay, so if we do that, we're going to slide this little bit back. These together here. That might work better. Not fair. This is a sprite for a game I'm working on. So our game project currently is mostly placeholders. We have 2 sprites that I'm, thrilled with. All right, Jordan, thanks for joining us. But these bubbles, the ground, the fact that I am using the blobs as the only enemy right now, all those need to change. So we're making some other ones. All of the art is stuff that we've made ourselves. Hey there, Frisk. They do tend to, move around. I don't know if I want them to be googly-eyed or what, but maybe we'll make the eyeballs spin around. Oh, no. No, she didn't go there. All right, where did they go? Some days it's hard to keep a camera on a cat. So of the visible cats, we have one that's in the little, the tree by the window. And then we have Ember over here. So let's use camera 2. Now that we put the camera on her, we'll see how long it takes her to dive for cover. Well, thank you, Annabella. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're having a good time. Frisk, we're trying to make a Vampire Survivors style game. And it's what? Danzy? The cats are a critical element of the stream chaos. Absolutely vital. Yeah, I think this might work. What do you think? Does this say mouse to you? The googly-eyed mouse? Conduct, this is supposed to be one of the weapons I'm working on. In its original incarnation and in this one, this is a homing weapon. This is one of the weapons people never used when they did the viewer collaboration portion in Noida. Okay, so if we take this. All right, so we have 6 frames. We could have the tail swing back and forth for one of them. If we... So it would be tail swings down, tail swings up. So we have 5 frames to reset it to here. Okay, Annabelle, you get some sleep. Yeah, if we do it this way, it might actually look like it's rotating around. That could be good. That. Okay. Yeah. It's got a bit of the vibe that it's rotating around. Okay. And we can amplify that if we do this. So this is, it's kind of coming down down the screen with the little light over top. And then it goes under. Okay. We could also do this. I appreciate it, Chaos. I appreciate it. Fried peanut and pickle sandwich. Now, do you mean like peanut butter or like peanuts? Like the non-paste era of peanut butter. Yeah. I mean, I can't say that the flavor combination is something that strikes me outright as delicious, but I know there have been weirder combinations that individually they don't seem like they would go together, but they end up going together pretty well. Is it, okay, so these will go counterclockwise. This one goes clockwise. This one will go counterclockwise, so it should be here. So they meet up there. We're going to try a couple of different things with the eyeballs here. It's clockwise, you go counterclockwise. See if they line up how I want them to. I mean, I'm pretty sure they won't line up how I want them to now that I think about it, but, you know. Let's find out if they do. Yeah, not quite. Not quite. I'm trying to keep the sprites uniform here. Yep, Vids, that cat is Ember. She is the smallest of the 5. And she tends to be on camera the most. Both because she has very fixed locations and because she's cute. Alright. I have to get back in 5 moves. So I got to plot out some eye movement that is a 6 cycle. So there are 5 moves that will bring it back to this. Yeah, I think we can keep it simple then. Rotate. Up. Okay, so the eyes will just kind of rattle back and forth in it. That'd do it. That'd do it. Okay. We're going to make a new layer. We're going to put it under this layer. Select visible would be kind of handy. That'll have to do, though. Let's check the Nyanite real quick. All right, that's square framed. Oh, we're at it. Select that. No tolerance, just that color. Move it. Layer. Pull that layer down. Paste into that layer. Hide layer, show layer. Okay. Layer, show layer. All right, well, thanks for swinging through. Oh, yep. Ember realized she could get her spot back. Sky had taken it earlier. So what'll happen is sometimes Sky will go and sleep on the spot that Ember is, that she currently is at, that the camera is refusing to activate. Come on, camera one. Camera one is prone to breaking down. Find them. Find them. Shall use this camera. I think it's been damaged is the problem. The camera that's pointing at Sammy right now reboots itself usually around midnight-ish. And when it reboots itself, it like shakes the ceiling tiles that it's attached to. Camera one takes a long time and is prone to freezing or resetting. Some of them have been through some stuff. So that's part of the reason that I'm looking at getting some new ones. Okay, so we've got you updated. We're going to go in, we're going to go into layer 2, and we're going to fill. So. Export it. Save this. I'm going to do weapon as a prefix. Okay, then we're going to go back in here. And now we should have this little guy here. Hey there, Toko, Narcissa. Okay. So have where projectiles. All right, so we need a new object that is the scene for the projectile, which is going to be a mob body object. And we'll need associated scripts with it to handle how it collides. Welcome back, Demon, and I'm doing pretty good today. We're primarily doing sprite work. I'm importing a sprite in right now. It's not a resource. It'll start as a scene, and it's going to start as a node. So we're gonna look at what we did with this scene here. Is a mob body type. Okay. Let's delete that. I do enjoy the background music. I try to go through Epidemic Sound and pick out new stuff to add to the list. I think we're at like 30 some tracks in the playlist right now. And I could always use more people. The broadcast needs more reach. But a big way for that to happen, folks, is to have you folks watching. Thanks for joining us. So mouse projectiles. So then what we want is we want to add our animated sprite, I believe. Yeah. It'll need a collision shape 2D. Okay. So this one needs sprite frames. And where do we put that? There is one that's loaded in Here we go. Add frames from sprite sheet. There we go. I haven't messed with the animation in a bit. Okay, and it is... There are 6 horizontal and 1 vertical. Just so. Add those frames. Then we're going to take a quick look at our player sprite. Where did I put the player sprite? I custom animated the player sprite. We'll look at the blob. We'll look at the blob. 6 frames per second. Okay. Projectiles, mouse goes at 6 frames per second. There you go. There's our little wind-up mouse. Yeah, Sammy's all bageled up. She is fully curled up. What PC? I'm doing my development on my primary PC, my gaming PC. Okay, so there's our little wind-up mouse. Now we need to add a collision area. And it should be able to be a capsule, I think. Can I rotate it? Yes. Right about like that. Okay. Then we need to have... It needs to have its own script. You know, by default, I could change some stuff here. Be right back. Gonna have a short break. Getting settled in. Be right back. My transition scene, I used this. I've always used the same like be right back and whatnot scenes. I used to have a transition scene that instead of doing the like pixel in, pixel out kind of thing, uh, a little shadow form would like leap at the screen, and I started calling it the jump scare screen based on how people were reacting to it. I stopped using it because it was kind of laggy and glitchy. Unfortunate. Maybe I'll try to recreate it someday. Okay, we're gonna keep the. We'll keep that. So by default, mouse projectile will have all of these things, but it won't use the mob body script, so it needs its own, and it's going to extend mob body. Where was that? There's a way to detach the script. There we go. Okay, there we go. I didn't want it to use a template. Okay. So then if we look at purple projectile for now, let's do this. Oh. Wait. I'm going to close you. Attach that. Delete that. Close it. Okay. So then we're going to open you. We're going to attach you. It's going to inherit mob body. It's going to be mouse projectile, lowercase for consistency. No template. So then we go into purple projectile. We copy that into mouse projectile. Okay. There is lore, Chaos. There is lore. Some of it's going to extend from my character lore. Some of it is derived from the ye olden days from the Noita mod. The ongoing story of Catbot Corporation and the Catbot Factory and the products thereof. Okay, so now we have the mouse projectile. Hey there, Yassine. Welcome. Physics, process. Let's do just process. We've got this right. So then in process, export. Animated bar sprite as animated sprite 2D. Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So let's look at. Okay, those are exposed so that we can set them. Okay. Those are my cats. Yes, Yassine. The upper one is Mason. The lower one is Sammy. So that's 2 of the 5. Those less familiar with the stream, we do this a lot. We switch to the cameras to show people the cats. We can see all 5 of them right now. Ember is the one that is mostly on camera with the little orange ear. She's actually very small. Sky is up in the cat tree. He's kind of the dark blob up in top of the cat tree by the curtain, the gray curtain. He's gray and white and very fluffy. He's also the biggest of them. And there's Mason and Sammy, like I mentioned. Mason is second biggest. Sammy is second smallest. Then in the tree by the window, in the little house, is Sherbet. He is a sibling of Mason, an adoptive sibling of Mason. Like, their litters were combined. And he is the middle-sized one. Can't be stopped. Save you from your pain. And there we go. Fun thing, folks. Fun thing. If you encounter a live stream or a video that you don't like, and you would like not to see more of it, don't click on them in the future and don't comment on them. Because if you click it or you comment, that tells YouTube and many other platforms that is something that you will react to. And if you tell a platform that you'll react to it, that you'll consume content, even if you hate it so much, it will give you more. Because you'll react to it. That is one of the fun ones. It's anybody that gets here is shown it either because it is something that the platform wants to test on you, or something that the platform thinks you already like. So often you will see the people questioning, why is this in my feed? And I would generally wonder myself, why is this in your feed? Why is the cute robot Catboy in your feed, random commenter? Okay, so one of the things that I want to do is we want to take the sprite and we want to rotate it based on our current velocity. Can I rotate? we go. Radians rotation, radians in degrees. I don't really want either of that. But rotate. Okay, we don't want to rotate. We want to set its rotation. So what we need to do is all of my sprites right now. I might need to adjust this, actually. Okay, no. All sprites, by default, face to the right. So this mouse faces to the right, the Nyanite faces to the right, and if they have to face to the left, often I will flip them over, so the Nyanite just flips to the left. But with this, it's going to rotate because it can face in any direction. So it needs to rotate to its facing. So I need to use the rotation property. We're going to close the other template, the documents for now. Okay, so our test as vector2 test dot angle with respect to the x-axis 1, 0 vector in radians. Ooh, this might be exactly what we need. Because it faces the x-axis. 1, 0 is the direction it's facing. And it returns it in radians. So if we do angle on its vector... Okay. So next float is equal to sprite. It's velocity angle. Rotation equal to velocity rotation. Let's look up that symbol to be sure. Okay, it is a float. Excellent. So in theory, every frame we go in and say which way is it facing and change its facing to that. I don't know if there's a specific name for it, but the teardrop is really common in... I mean, there is the sad clown kind of concept, but you really see that a lot in kind of the... I don't know if that's the actual name for it, but it's like Pierrot or something like that. You see a lot of that kind of look to it, but there is a very stereotypical, like, it has a very monochrome appearance, like a black and white or single color, that has the one teardrop out of each eye, and sometimes the mouth makeup making it be a downturned frown. That is kind of like an iconic type of clown. Okay, so now we have mouse projectile. So now we need to make a projectile template for it. Or, I'm sorry, a mob template, I think. Let me check. Let's see, resource type. Okay, I need to make a mob template of it. Purple bullet should use the purple bullet art. Weird. Wonder why it's doing that. Did I put the wrong scene? No, purple bullet is still what it should look like. Okay, just being glitchy. Did anything give me the idea? I enjoy the Survivor style games. They're a nice combination of, like, there's just enough activity to them. Like, there's some thought that goes into it, but they kind of fall into the similar category as idle games. They're easy to play. Like, you don't have to... There's not a lot of focus to them. You can just kind of do. And that's kind of fun. Okay, so now we need a projectile source. It is a mob template. It's going to be... rename some of these. Be consistent. Nice thing is a lot of the linkages in this, as long as you do them right, are preserved. So if I change the name, it doesn't break everything. I don't know that I can avoid the fish look. What we're going for is you got little ears here. I could expand the ears to be a little bigger, like come over here and go all the way over the eye. We might have to try it later. But it's meant to be like a little wind-up mouse. Go into this. We have its mob body is this template here. Then we need a move template, which would be... For the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to give it random target. I'm going to add one, and it's going to move at 96. It's going to move pretty fast. Then it is a player bullet. What is the type? Where's my global nodes? It's a player bullet. It is 2. I wish I could set this to a drop down. I wonder if there's a way to do it. I'll have to look that up. That if I can set an export to have a limited set of options. We'll have to see. It'd be great if I could pre-specify a drop-down and say it has to be one of these things, because then I could control it. Okay, so we have that. Then we're going to go into our temporary logic here. Look for where we attach the bullet spawner the player, and right now we're using the purple bullet template. So we need weapon spawner. So now we're going to make a new one. We need to make sure we've got a movement template set for this. So we need to add 2 random mob. There we go. Okay, got that set. Now we need a spawner for it. Hey there, gaming. It is me again. We're still going. We're still going. Now I need a weapon spawner for spawner template resource. I am probably going to go in and change all of these because now I suddenly realize I need to have this as a prefix. So right now I've had things like, oh, it's got projectile in it. It should be projectile mouse, not mouse projectile. Then they're sortable. Like, as soon as you see the file name, the first thing is what it's supposed to be. But anyway. So mob to spawn, we're going to take the mouse projectile. Mob template. Oh, okay. Mob template. One of these. And it'll fire a lot. No count modifiers, no movement modifiers. Actually, let's put a spread on it. And we're going to give it, like, we're going to put 3 of them present. Then we're going to take our weapon homing mouse here. It does not yet home. It is inaccurately named, but So now it should use these homing mouse graphics. Oh, okay, okay. Sprite is never being set. How do we set that? Okay, so what's happening here is if we look at a mob body scene, it does not have a sprite object. Why do you assume that this is female? Sprite's not getting set because the mob body does not intrinsically have one. So I could have a convention that animated sprite is always what it's called, because I can't just fabricate the animated sprite very well. Well, that seems like it was a mistake on your part. In the future, I would suggest not leaping to the assumption that mammaries are present if there is an open chest cavity. It may save you some consternation. We set its movement, we set its type, but we're never setting its sprite. Never setting its sprite. We could abstract this out. Hey there, Fraggy. Welcome. If we abstract this out, this might help us, because then we can have the sprite be a separate entity. And if it's a separate entity, we can define it in the template. We could also swap it out freely while we're working with stuff, but no worries. There's historically there are two general directions that your comment can go there, didn't. That you didn't go down the more hostile side. So good on you. Good on you. Okay, so what I was mentioning here is I want to be able to use this, the sprite value, but I'm not using that anywhere. I'm not setting that anywhere because nothing knows what it is. We could easily attach it. So right now, when we spawn something, amongst many things, we are going in and setting like, okay, this is how it moves, this is that kind of thing. We set what its body is. But we could also load into that template a sprite to attach to it. So I could abstract that sprite out, and we could even start to add values for changing the color of it. Yeah. I kind of like that. Okay. So we're going to extend our art folder. Then we're gonna rename it so that I didn't double tap the tab. Okay, then we're gonna create a new. I don't think it needs to be a special thing. I think it just needs to be an animated. Mouse, and it uses a animated. If you're not familiar with the platform we're using, we're making a game in the Godot engine. The language that we're coding it in is the Godot engine language GD script. You can also use C# for this kind of thing, but I wanted to learn a new language, and based on performance testing that people have done, the GD script is more efficient if you're messing with the stuff in the world and on the screen. That's right. I'm making a game. I can show you something in a moment here. Like that. Okay. If we go into weapon mouse, into the animation, we're going to make some new sprite frames. Go into animation. It's in the... Click that. And then we are going to load it in from file. We use weapon mouse. We select that. Say that there are 6 frames wide, 1 frame tall. Select all those, we add them, and we move at 6 frames a second. It can be. A lot of it, some of it is my own fault because I'm trying to make a very robust code structure. But some of it is just you get used to it. You figure out what you're doing, you know? Okay, so if we look at this in 2D, look at it wiggle. Okay, that's one part. But will this be right? This will add the sprite, but it doesn't add the collision zone properly. Need almost like a sibling object at that point. Okay, we're going to science something here. So we need to look at... We're going to temporarily comment this so that it won't crash. And we're going to look at our scene. So it wants one of these. All right, didn't. Have a good evening, and thanks for joining us. What if... If we add a node here... If we put these here... Okay, it loses the linkage. Oh man, we got 3 kitties. Mason and Sherbet are snuggled up next to each other. You can see the patterning similarity to them. They have the same, like, tan and white color. I don't recall if it was different mothers or different fathers, but they were 2 different litters of about the same age. And the shelter just kind of grouped them all together. I want to be able to abstract out the sprite, but I don't think we can. At least uniformly in mob body. What we might have to do is name them uniformly. So we're going to roll with this is always true. Actually, no. I don't think we need to. Yeah. Oop. Problem solved. You could also go into purple bullet body and do the same thing. Into blob body. It's seen. There. That's not quite right. Looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Blob had that set. I think its body gets set in the spawner script. We're reviewing. We're catching back up to some of these things. Its body. Instantiate the body. Okay, no, we can set all of those, and then its movement is set subsequently. Okay. We just have to remember that we need to, actually do these things. I don't know that I actually need to set the body here, but it gives me a named variable for essentially this thing's kinematic body 2D. I recall seeing you previously, Lulu. And thanks, Chaos. I appreciate it. Got that. Got that set in the blob. Okay. Okay. So now we can go into the mouse projectile body, and we should be able to set that rotation. Okay, well, that's mostly working. One second. Autocorrect is a menace there, Drew. But thank you. Good reminder. Okay, we need to go into... Need to check these. Where is it? Purple bullet will tell me what the multiplier is. Just in case I look at that again later. Scale is 6. Okay, that's what I missed. So then we go back into the 2D of the scene. Take the capsule. That looks about right. Hey there, Kenzie. welcome. We're doing some art for our game project. The mouse is a homing weapon. They're colliding with each other. They're not supposed to. Oh, well, that's part of the problem. Where are you at? Collision. You're in layer 5 and you only care about enemies. Okay, they're not animating. They're supposed to animate, but, you know, we're getting there. I mean, when you think about it, Chaos, if you were going up to mug somebody and they just covered you in mice, I think you'd hesitate. Like, you'd reconsider your life choices up to that point. Okay, why are they not animating? Hey there, Rune. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, they might just be exclaiming. Tarnation being part of a normal quote-unquote normal exclamation. You know, of the what in the variety. Because the blobs animate properly. It's different with the blobs. Well, that's an odd one, Okaneki. I mean, if it began with tarnation, I could see it being an exclamation. But that really does seem like a term of address there. It could still be, but yeah. Okay, so what's different? What's different? Oh. We don't need you anymore. Need mouse projectile body. Clearly something different here. But what? Auto load on play. That's got to be it. There we go. Very nice. So for those that haven't seen some of this before, a lot of the behaviors of the projectiles and creatures that I'm making here are modular. So the fact that these mice are spreading out in groups of 3 is something that I can control, that I would be able to control on the fly in the game. I could remove the spread pattern, I could change the number, I could make them home in, that kind of stuff independently. Somebody mentioned Noida earlier, and that's the game that a lot of this art comes from, as far as I made a mod for the game and I made these sprites to be used in the mod. Now, some of them I'm updating because they were sized according to Noida conventions, like the projectiles. So I'm scaling them up. But I'm still using that same sort of chunky pixel resolution that came from my Noida mod. So a lot of the concepts and whatnot live there. There will be something along those lines on a regular basis. Pretty common to the genre is every so often a bigger opponent will appear. What if I break these down further? So, welcome back, Vanessa. Right now I've got like at random mob, and that is a target. If at random mob happens early, it will set the target. And I can set it up so that it moves when it does that. In theory, you could just have 0 as its movement speed. So and that will target. So the phone is trying to tell you something, Drew. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to do nearest mob, but we're also going to look at random mob here. So to random mob just says I'm going to move towards I'm either going to go in a random direction. Let me double check. Yeah, we were getting some definite lag there, folks. Let me check and see if things are still flaking out. Yeah. think we're gonna pull a trigger again here. Just gonna verify. I think I do have one person on Twitch right now, and I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to experiment and try to stabilize the broadcast here. One last look. Oh, okay. I think it's recovering. Yeah. Which is still having problems, but I think YouTube is starting to recover. Bad internet night. Okay. Yeah, okay, we stabilized again. Yeah, normally I can handle all 3 streams, but today it seems like it's walking the line. Okay, so to random mob, we'll choose a random direction to move in if it doesn't have a target. And it will set that direction to be the target. But what if we change this to be that there are targeters in place, and that by default, if no target is set, well, at least I didn't. At least I didn't axe the Twitch stream prematurely. It's. I will try to keep an eye on it in case it does flake again. But this has happened a couple of times tonight now, so bear in mind it seems to be able to recover. Yeah. I'm starting to like this idea. So instead of there just being movement patterns, there could be target setters. So if we look at to random mob here, right now it sets a target, but then it moves straight forward towards that target. But this is doing 2 things. This is saying move in the direction that I am initially given, and set it from the target if I have one, otherwise set it randomly. And then it's also moving along the direction. But just as easily, random mob could be a type of targeting. It says pick one of the things that exists in the world at random and set a direction to it. If it doesn't have that, it just says here's a random direction. And other things can use that. But additionally, it's saying, okay, and move in a straight line, but it doesn't need to move in a straight line. Yeah. I think we can work with this. I'm liking what this feels like, because okay, that explains it. Well, now I feel like you're doing it on purpose, Drew. And if ever you run into something, folks, where it sounds like I'm answering questions or talking to somebody that you can't see in chat, it's probably in one of the other 2 chats. Okay. I'm going to say targeting. Okay, so the thought I just had. Yes, Rune, we're making a game. We're making a game. So we're trying to make a Vampire Survivor style game. I'm spending most of the time most of the time has been going into core logic. We're getting to the point where we're starting to look in greater depth at how the weapons will be generated. Right now, I'm working on the way it's going to be initially is a lot of the stuff will be fixed, but like predetermined. But if you look at this projectile here, the fact that it is this mouse body is one thing. There is the fact that it spreads out in a group of 3. Count of them, how it spreads out, and how it selects targets, that kind of thing. Those are all modular in that I can adjust them in code. Like at runtime kind of stuff. So in theory, well, there you go, Drew. There you go. What I want to be able to do is have the logic for the weapons be determined by what you take over the run. So we're kind of looking into a mashup of Vampire Survivors and Noida. That's, maybe you could look at it as a bit like Bioprototype, but without the between levels messing with stuff. And hey there, Lee. Okay, so if this is for target, the general idea with a targeting template is that it just sets the target. It does nothing to the behavior. We can assert in movement that the first thing it will do is supply a template that says, here's what I got last. And if it has nothing, then it can supply, here's like the player's facing or something like that. We're going to have to do some extra stuff. Yeah. So if it's a targeting type, what it would likely do is it would remember... It might remember some things. But its primary goal is to select something and assert, this is what I care about. So in this case, if it gets something, like if it gets a target mob, it's going to remember that. And it's constantly going to insert it into a target, if it can. Yeah. Just like in a straight line, if it doesn't have a line detected or asserted initially, it will generate that and go from there. Some folks just like the, it's not ASMR, but some people like the vibe. Nice little, some music, some cats, and a constant voice. I've known some folks that just come in and listen to the stream. Okay. So 2random-mob doesn't care about moving. It only cares about selecting a random mob and then remembering it. It's part of the stream experience, Chaos. The pull of it being like an interactive event, both with the streamer and with the rest of chat, is a big part of it. I mean, I would assert all of it. I mean, I saw a stream where a bunch of people were watching a block of ice melt for hours. The streamer just came in to make sure that everything was still functioning on a regular basis. But that was the interaction. People were watching a giant block of ice melt, and they were having the time of their lives. I agree, Rune. That's why I have 5 of them. So far, I have found that for me, 5 is the optimal number for being able to pay attention to them. All right. I mean, that could be a good thing. Maybe you're discovering the kind of thing that lets you lock on a little closer. So right now what I'm doing is I'm pondering how to structure this. Because each movement template has a distance that it tries to assert. What I'm thinking is that there are going to be some movement templates that don't move. They just say, this is what you're aiming at. And will constantly either assert what they originally determined, or they will take action accordingly. So, like, home to a target will move, but it will constantly change its vector to be locked on to whatever its target was. But if it doesn't have a target, it doesn't move. Yeah. Well, that can help too. There's a lot going on. I was once told that it might help my shorts if I put some, like, AI read Reddit posts in some Minecraft parkour speedrunning on top of my shorts, as well as what is already happening. My short form videos are usually formatted like the tall form stream is. Cat cam video footage me. There are various formats based on what's happening, but like that. You get the combo. Okay. As my body. By default, it is null, explicitly null. If the target is already set, then we don't set the target again. And if target mob is not equal null, target. Hello, Sky. Sky is coming to sit with me. He doesn't do this a lot, but if I don't immediately pay attention to him, he's going to climb up my chest and headbutt me. Oh, there's 3 of them right there. Okay. That's, or do you mean 2 on the blanket? I presume that might, yeah. There's 2 on the same blanket. They're almost kind of snuggled up face to face there. And then Sammy has still claimed the whole pillow. Okay, if I leave it like this, then it will be, it just selects a target mob. It doesn't care about the direction. I think it should still care about the direction. I think it'll keep asserting this. Yeah. Okay. Calico cats? I think calicos are pretty. Let me see if I can spot her. She should be visible. So, I think you're looking through the tall form there, Rune. So, it's going to be, if you go right to left, top to bottom, the fourth camera has a cat on it. Ember is her coloration is diluted. She's kind of like an anti-calico. So white underbelly, she has gray and black stripes down her back, white, like heavy white socks, and then like pale orange blotches. Her orange is kind of on her right ear and on her shoulder behind it, and in a couple of other places. Ember is a little sweetheart, though. She is itty bitty. You can't tell from that camera, but those the pad that she's sitting on is under 2 feet. It long, and like she is small. She is small. She's also one of my more vocal cats. She is the most vocal of them, in that she'll kind of like talk at you and respond. She doesn't have a great depth of expression, but you can tell how she feels about what's going on based on the pitch and length of a trill that she does. She speaks only in trills. So there is the kind of like, I'm running over there, be ready to pet me kind of trill. There is a I did not want you to pick me up right now trill. That there is a I am slowly waking up kind of sound. It's, you kind of get used to it. Sammy, the black and white one, is starting to learn some basic vocalization to get my attention, but it's largely just like, hey, hey, kind of stuff. Calicos are very pretty. Okay. So what we're trying to do here is I'm recategorizing random mob as a... Here. Okay. So this is pick a random mob. And what it's going to do is every time random mob fires, it's going to assert that the target direction and target mob are whatever it has decided they are. So when it does get target, we can just change it to say, is there a target mob? If there is a target mob, then it's done. Use all the data that it already had. If there's not a target mob, then try to get one. And if it got one, set the target. Otherwise, do nothing. Okay. Okay. I will leave target set. That's kind of a convenience. It's a needless Boolean, but oh well. So we're going to leave that for now. it won't do random direction. If it has nothing, it won't move. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're building some. We're building some here. So random mob is not going to do random direction. Random direction will be the first target type. And it's going to daisy chain down. This is going to work. I just gotta noodle on this a little bit. Some thinking. This extends a movement template. It's a scene that extends movement template. We'll see how many things we break by changing all of this, but we're doing stuff. We're doing stuff. From a scene perspective, there's nothing to it. The entire purpose of this is to have a packed scene. Okay. We're going to leave random mobs contents alone for just a little bit here. It's going to be random direction. Fat finger that question mark in there. It's going to be have no template, and it's going to inherit movement template. There we go. How often do I stream? I stream about 5 times a week. Sometimes that gets disrupted, and when I stream gets disrupted, I try to get them posted in advance on YouTube. So normal days are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. There will be a stream tomorrow, even though the stream isn't up yet. We're going to do a game of some kind. We're going to play a game. Just haven't decided yet. I have a backlog that I wanted to do on stream and I haven't done yet. So we'll pick something and we'll play that. Okay. 2 random direction. Then we look at random mob. So we're actually just going to take this whole thing. Direction. Without caps lock on. Without caps lock on. Well, I'm glad you like it, Rune. I am trying to do 2 to 3 or more coding streams a week, so stuff like this. Well, game dev streams. So that I can keep rolling on this, because I've been really enjoying the opportunity to, you know, stretch the coding muscles again. But I also want to get some games in there. We often do things like the Ace Attorney games. And I also like psychological horror games, like creepy games. Not necessarily like, oh no, monster, it's gonna stab me kind of games, but creepy games. Okay, random direction. It doesn't care about a target mob. So there's no get direction to target. That'll air out some of it. Now, if you're interested in making suggestions and that it'll be less likely that I'll forget, I do have a Discord server. There's a link to it in the LinkTree that is linked in the descriptions of the video and off of my my channel page, where you can get to the Discord, and then once you are kind of confirmed, so that we can tell you're not an art bot, there's a forum for suggestions. And I always try to take a look at it and comment on what people call out. It has sometimes led to new games to play on the stream. Okay, so then if it's set, then target direction is equal to movement direction. All right, so what this one is saying, pick a random direction. In general, this is going to be the first thing that goes into a lot of targeting, a lot of movement logic. Because what it means is that no matter what, there will be a target. So then subsequent things can be based on that. So for example, if this one isn't there and there's like target random mob, if there are no mobs, there's no target. So there's nothing to move towards. So if subsequently I have move in straight line as its movement type, then it won't be able to, it won't have anywhere to move. Nothing is set the direction, nothing is set the target. It'll just sit still. Just a reminder that I should have like a lifespan on projectiles too, so that they don't just aggregate in a ball forever if they can't move. But this generates a direction, and when it moves, it does nothing, because it just picks a target. Okay, then we have, instead of targeting, we have player is also movement. So this is move in straight line, means it just moves in whatever direction it's given. It never changes. All right, Chaos. Probably after stream at this point, I will get in there, and anybody that I recognize from chat, I will give them permissions to the rest of the server. If your Discord handle is substantially different, it can help if you call out, I'm so-and-so from YouTube kind of stuff. Like I said, the whole point of this process of having to kind of give people permission to enter the rest of the channel is there's a lot of bots out there. And they can be very annoying to deal with and clean up after. So we head them off. There's sort of like a trap at the start of the server. So there's more than just one room in the server. There are people chatting. You just haven't been let in the front door yet. We're gonna have to think on this little section a little more. I like where we're going, and I have a good idea of how we'll make it work. Let me try to finish this though. Create a new scene is a node. Okay, yeah. Call it move. We're gonna fat finger a button there, and we're going to rename this. Most of the ones that are moving straight, that are moved, can use straight line. Just consistency. Okay, so we got a movement template that says move in a straight line, which all it will do is this. Then we're going to check movement templates base class. It's going to return movement direction. It always has that. It's going to do probably nothing. Change direction, same way. Yep. Okay, so this movement doesn't set a target. It doesn't do anything with the target. It just says, okay, what is my, how shall I move? If target actually, let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, when you call get target, it doesn't do anything. It returns whatever you got. When you call change direction, it will change its movement direction. But whenever move gets called, it will use whatever the direction it has been given is. It does whatever the target tells it to, which will be its initial movement direction. Okay. Should be right. Yes. Right? Oh. So here's the trick with this one, is the movement direction isn't necessarily preserved. No, I think this is correct. I think this is correct. We're going to do this to preserve the kind of logic. Okay. So the two random mob only gets a target. It doesn't do anything with move. It doesn't do anything with direction. Oh, we can do this too. Change the target direction. Does it do that? No, it just gets a target mob. Yeah. So this will set a target, but there's nothing about it that says it sets a movement direction. Because I don't want it... Okay, no. Target direction to movement direction. It'll reset it. Okay. Yeah, it's going to keep going in and saying this is your actual movement direction over and over. Don't need any of that. Okay. Well, with the new Nyanite product line, it's not that far off. But there's still a substantial presence of the Catbot product line out in the world. That is true, Bob. That is true. You got to appreciate a good cat cam. Especially when you can see 3 out of 5 at once. That's a rarity. Okay. So movement direction is equal to that. There are 5 cats. Yes, you can see Mason, Sherbet, and Sammy, top to bottom, on that one. Sky, the biggest cat, is on my lap right now, and Ember is over in one of her napping spots. Stream time is generally cat nap time, but I mean, most times of day are cat nap time. should be able to see Ember. So you can see on the bed there, the 3 that you could see. Then you can also see Ember. She's the little vari-colored one snoozing there, the one with the orange ear. And Sky is sitting with me, getting his chin scratched. So toRandomMob is going to constantly assert its direction, and that's that. Yeah, I'm working on getting a new type of camera in place. The ones I've got served their purpose. They've done a good job. But some of them, I think, have suffered some battle damage over time. And there are some idiosyncrasies of them that I don't like. So I'm testing a new setup that won't be subject to Wi-Fi oddities, and I don't have to worry about the pan and tilt getting all wonky. But we'll see. That's a work in progress. Okay, so this is RandomMob. Movement template, move in straight line just says I get a target, I set its movement direction to whatever my target was, and I move in that direction. Okay, that should work. Yes. So, let's look at random direction, make sure that's all cleaned up. Template, move his pass. So we'll update those names. So we go into mouse projectiles template here, I think. Body. We need the spawner. So weapon homing mouse. What's that, Rune? We're going to remove the movement templates from the default body, and we're going to set them in the spawner only. Within reason, Rune? Within reason. I mean, it would be best of you to avoid real-world event applicable discussions like that. As long as you're talking in general, then it's probably okay, you know? How are all my cats doing, Drew? Or how am I taking care of all of the cats? So in the spawner, we have one size modifier, we have our position modifier, which is spread, and then our movement modifiers are going to be first, where is movement? Here we go, here we go. So first we do random direction. Then we do RandomMob. then we do straight line. Okay. Did we break the game? I mean, I can believe it, Rune. It's part of the reasons things like landmines and cluster munitions are supposed to be a no-no now, is that they stick around. Oh, honor. $96. Oh, but should be able to have 0. Did I mess that up? Wing mouse template. Make sure we saved. Well, Drew, in VTuber tradition, the collective name for chat is Nyanites. Like nanites, but Nyan, or more anime. Okay. Okay, let's there's a mob to spawn. It has 0 and 0. Let's go look at our... So the template has a size of 3 and a size of 3. Okay. So now we're going to look at the mouse projectile's body. No, it's template. Okay, has a movement template here. It's not supposed to have a movement template. What is it set to? Random mob. So we delete that. Okay. All right, it's just sitting there. Yeah, no, that's not supposed to be what's happening. It's turtles all the way down, Rune. Turtles all the way down. Okay, let's look at spawner here. Mob to spawn is a mob template, right? This doesn't seem right. Oh, we're not adding the spawner templates. That's why. That's why. Okay, so this is going through and saying, for all the templates in mob to spawn, and I kind of want those to go away now. I kind of don't want those. Okay, we're going to pick this up on Sunday. We're going to pick that up on Sunday. We're going to start wrapping up here. So we got a new sprite made. That's great. We got an animated sprite for our little mouse thing. And we have started down the road of further adjustment to the movement and targeting system. What we're changing it to is conceptually having some movement types that are meant to just target and some movement types that are meant to move. So right now we have one movement type, and that's straight line, in that it doesn't care it doesn't change the target at all. It just says, if I have a direction in the target, move in that direction. Yeah, we're wrapping up here, Chaos. We're wrapping up. Sometimes we start a little earlier on like weekends, and sometimes we do run longer, but this is about the normal ending time. We usually run about 3 hours. Might start running longer some days. It's gonna vary. It's gonna vary. But we'll see. We'll see. But the definite is it will always, the goal is to always have it be about 3 hours, at least 3 hours, starting at 4 p.m. on the streaming days. In any event, folks, I hope you all had a good time tonight. To all those new faces, welcome. I hope you had a good time as well. Kind of redundant, but yeah. Welcome to all the new faces. Thanks for returning, for all the returning faces. We will be back tomorrow with a game of some kind. I will try to get that stream determined and posted as soon as I can. And we'll go from there. So if you like what you saw and would like to see more, remember to like, follow, subscribe, all those buttons, all those good buttons down at the bottom. Clicking them lets YouTube and various platforms know what you like so that you can see more of it and hopefully see more of my streams. So have a good rest of your day, everyone, and I hope to see you next time.